Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name is Catherine and this is So Much Sewing. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you spending some of your time with me. If this is your first time here, welcome. I hope you like what you see. I hope you will consider subscribing and clicking the notification bell and giving me a bit of a thumbs up. That would be completely awesome. Thank you. Today is Friday Sews. I'm sure you all know by now, Friday Sews was created by Jen and Today in Jen's Sewing Room, and it's just a wonderful little package where YouTube sewing vloggers can post videos under that hashtag, which then allows you, the viewer, to very easily type in hashtag Friday Sews into the YouTube search engine, and you will only see sewing videos under that hashtag. And so you might meet some new people. There's new sewing vloggers coming on all the time, and of course there's all the old faithfuls, all the big names. Everybody does it at some point, so I'm sure you will have lots of fun watching that hashtag. Today I'm wearing my Staley sweatshirt from LB Textiles. I did talk about this last week and I said that I was disappointed with the way it turned out, and that's nothing to do with the fabric or the pattern. I have made that pattern many times before, and it's a tried and true. I really love it. But and this fabric is the most gorgeous, beautiful, soft, drapey, viscose knit, fancy knit. I got this from Huff in New Zealand. And the reason I felt it didn't go well is because, you know, it's a lacy design with all these holes in the pattern, in the weave, or rather in the knit. And so there's not a nice straight edge to make a seam on. And so I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to fray. It was a bugger to sew, I have to say. And so I ended up accidentally taking a larger seam allowance than I should have, because I wanted to make sure that I incorporated all those wiggly wobbly edges. So I took a larger seam, which means that it's a bit smaller than I intended. And also, to finish the seams, what I did originally was I put bias binding on all the seams. But what that did, while it protected the seams and means that they would never come undone, you know, there would be no fraying, it just unfortunately made the top, I felt, too stiff. I'll put a picture in here, and the comments that I got back from all you beautiful viewers, thank you so much, was that it didn't look too small. It didn't look too stiff, it looked fine, but I really wasn't happy with it. It felt too small. The bias binding restricted, you know, all my movements. And I felt the bottom hem looked very stiff and heavy, and it had lost all its gorgeous drape. So what I did is I took bias binding off all the seams except for here, and I actually think I'm going to take this bias binding off as well. So unfortunately it means that the seams are all raw. I might try overlocking, but when I overlocked the edges before I washed this fabric, you know, that wasn't an easy process either. So I took all the bias binding off, and I've left all the seams raw, and I've taken the bottom band off. So I feel that it's got its drape back now. It is very cropped. My waist is here and my big belly is here. So it is very cropped, but you know, I will get some wear out of it. It may not last as long as I would like, because those edges are all raw and they will possibly fray and come apart. But it means I can get some wear out of it. I really love it. It's very snuggly to wear. And yeah, so that's where I got to with that. The next thing on my list to talk to you about is my Stanton hoodie, which I made in the crazy camo with gold, very thick it has got a bit of a shine to it. It's not glittery as such, but it has got a bit of a shine to it. This is just sort of like stuck on the top, so it's quite thick feeling. This crazy camo print that I bought with the idea that I would make loungewear for both my husband and I. So I finally made up something for myself, the Stanton Hoodie, and I'm so happy with it. I love it so much. I won't talk about it too much here now because I'll talk about it in a subsequent video. But I love it, and it's hard, actually it is hard to see the detail because the pattern is so busy, but it's got the kangaroo pocket there. I use the expansion pack that is part of my Cashmerette Club monthly subscription. You get a new pattern each month, and one of the patterns we got one month was the Stanton Hoodie plus the expansion pack, which turns it into a dress. What else does it give you? It gives you a zip front option for the neck, and it just gives you some other options. So I made the dress, and what I did was I graded out from a size 14 at the bust to a 16 at the waist and a 22 at the hip. And the reason I went to a 22 is because I did not want it fitting in any way around my belly. I wanted it to fit like a dress, you know, with plenty of ease there. I didn't want it as a fitted hoodie, which is what the Stanton is. It's a very fitted, it started off life as not cropped but sitting, you know, sort of hip line. So it is a very fitted garment, and I didn't want that. I wanted it fitted at the top and roomy at the bottom so I could feel comfortable in it, and I really love it. I'm so happy. When I first cut out all the pieces, I was so daunted. There were so many pieces, and I put a picture up on Instagram, you know, going, wish me luck, there's just so many pieces here. But it was actually a super simple sew. Super simple sew. Say that 3 times fast. The fabric itself isn't very stretchy, so while it is a sort of a French terry, I suppose, although it's not, it's got the loop on the back, but it's a very short, it's not a loopy loop, if that makes sense, and hardly any stretch in it at all. So maybe not quite ideal. It is it's like I can feel it on my arms as I'm wearing it, and I thought it was going to be too tight, but I put it on earlier and I didn't want to take it off. I just loved wearing it. It was so comfortable, and I'm pretty excited. I've talked about making the poppy fabric that I purchased previously from the Dahlia Society, beautiful French terry, and I've talked about making the Stanton in that poppy with some black accents like sleeves and what have you, because I've only got 2 meters of the poppy and it wouldn't do a whole garment, a whole sweatshirt of that size. So yeah, I'll talk more about it in a previous video, but I just wanted to let you know that I've made it. I've bought a few patterns recently, and I thought I would just talk you through those because they're actually ones that I'm going to make up pretty soon. In the past, I've seen a pattern and I've gone, oh, I'll get that, I'll make that up one day. I'll just keep it in my stash for when I'm ready. And I kind of think that that's a trap, because I have a million patterns and I haven't made up half of them. So any patterns and fabrics that I purchase now, I really want to have plans, and I want to make them up very soon without them languishing in my stash. I'm working my way through my fabric stash, and I will work my way through my pattern stash as well, but what can I say? I got blinded by the beauty of these patterns and I just purchased them. The first one is V1808, a Vogue sort of a top and cardigan pattern. I really like the cardigan. Has got some interesting shaping on it. It's got pockets, I do believe. Yes, you can just see pockets there. So I like the uneven hemline, and I like that it's a bit of a shawl collar. So it comes up nice and high around the neck, one button. I think that's a very nice shape. I like that sort of swing style. And perhaps that top is something I might do as well, with the contrast sitting underneath the back of the top like that. I did make something very similar to that recently, where I used a gorgeous cotton jersey that I got from the Daily Society. I'll pop a picture up here for you, because I really do like that top. I wear it a lot, and I really quite enjoy that sort of flappy chiffony bit that sticks out the bottom. So I might do that as well. You can see it poking out. So I mean, I like that kind of style, that layering type thing, with some slim pants underneath to show off my skinny legs, and this will hide my larger tum. So I've got any number of knit fabrics that I could use this for. I won't show them to you because they're plain colours. Just, you know, I've got some merinos, I've got some sort of cotton jerseys. There's all sorts of fabrics I can make this into, and I think a plain colour would be the way to go. That would be the most sensible for my wardrobe. Chalk and Notch had a sale. It might still be on. I don't know, actually, no, I don't know if it'll still be on by the time you see this video, but I think it was 20% off or 25% off. And I had been thinking about the fringe dress for a very long time. Anytime I see it made up on a vlog, I love the way it looks, and the person who's made it up always raves about what a wonderful pattern it is. So it's been on my radar for a long time, and I finally just thought that, you know, the email came into my inbox saying that there was a sale on, so I just thought, oh look, just get it. So get it I did. So again, I've got a whole bunch of different fabrics that I could use for that pattern. Here's a couple of them. This is a, sorry, everything's been washed and put away in my stash, and I haven't ironed it, so everything will be a little bit wrinkled, I'm sorry. But this is I think it's actually a polished cotton, but it doesn't look very polished anymore. I got this a long time ago from Spotlight here in New Zealand. Spotlight is also in Australia. It's like Joann's in the States. I don't know if Joann's actually has all the other craft elements. I haven't looked it up. I should look it up online. But Spotlight has got all sorts of craft making stuff, from bead making and jewellery and painting, modelling, you know, clay and what have you. And it also has homewares, bedding and storage solutions and curtains and all sorts of things. And there was a sale on at Spotlight, so I went out and I grabbed it, and it's been sitting in my stash ever since. I do want to use it because I love the dusky blue, dusky green colour, and it's got some beautiful dusky, I mean, look at that gorgeous colour there. So how much have I got of it? I've got 3 meters of it. I don't know off the top of my head how much the fringe dress takes. Certainly won't be 3 meters, I'm sure, but so that's one of the options I have for the fringe. This is another option I have. It's just a lovely plain, it's a very sort of quite a densely woven fabric. It's got some drape, but it is very densely woven. It's a, I want to say this might be a silk cotton, but it's certainly cotton, and I think this is one that's got silk in it as well. And so I think this will just be a very nice, sort of simple, elegant? I don't know about elegant, but it'll be a nice, simple dress that could be very, very wearable. So that's just another option I have for the fringe. This also could possibly do for the fringe, but I was also thinking about it for the next pattern that I'll talk to you about, and this is a cotton gauze. The description said it was a cotton gauze, but it's, I mean, it is a little bit see-through, but it's quite dense. I always think of gauze, you know, like double gauze, like muslin. But this is quite a firm weave, and I got this absolutely gorgeous colour. Look, I just love that in it. I got this from Miss Maude here in New Zealand. They're a fabric store in, I think it's Greytown in the North Island of New Zealand. And they do have some absolutely gorgeous, amazing fabrics and some great brands as well. I have got 3 meters of this. So again, it might be a little wasteful to use it on the fringe, but I think this would be a very cute fringe dress that would just be so breezy and airy to wear. Well, we're going into our autumn and winter, so, well, we're in autumn now, so it's probably not something I'm going to make anytime soon. So thinking about it, why did I buy the pattern? But it was on sale, that's why I bought the pattern. And the last pattern I purchased that I wanted to talk to you about is the Marnie dress and blouse by Tilly and the Buttons. Like so many other people, I was completely on the fence when it first came out. In fact, no, I wouldn't say I was on the fence. I was the other side of the fence going, very cool. I can see that looking great on a lot of people, but not for me. But the more and more I see versions coming out, the more and more I love the look of it. And the more and more I've been sort of thinking about it. It's been ticking over in my brain. So I bought the pattern and I am going to make that bad girl up. I have several options. Sorry, I'm looking over here because I've got a big stash over here of fabric. One of the options I have is this amazing proper French silk. It's gorgeous. Look at all those colours. But I mean, I would love to make the Marnie blouse in this, and I think obviously being so light and floaty, it would be, in fact I'd make the dress. That's what my intention is, not the blouse, it's the dress. But in looking at this, I pulled this out and I realised I have a truckload of it. I remember purchasing this, and then sometime later they had a sale on and this fabric was half price, so I got more. So I got 3 meters to start off with, and then I purchased another 3 meters at something like half price. So I think it's actually going to be, you know, what I should do is hold this until I have a beautiful big flowy swishy gathered dress that I need a lot of fabric for, and use that. But I just thought I would just show you because it just immediately sprung to mind, and I thought that would be glorious as a Marnie dress. Another option I have is this. It's a lot more dense. Look at this. I don't even know which way out it goes. This way. And I have got a truckload of this as well. 3, I think I've got 4 meters of this. Oh my lord. But look at it. This is a lovely, I'm sure it's viscose. It feels, it's sometimes difficult to tell the difference between cotton and viscose, I think, because this is quite a, you know, a dense weave. And of course, if I was using all the fabrics that I had in my stash, but if I was using them as I had purchased them, then I would be able to tell you exactly what the content is and where I got them from. But because this has been around for so long, I can't say for sure. So this also I think would be very cool in a Marnie. Possibly, would I do the pin tucks? I think so, because I don't know. We'll see. I've got to make it up first anyway and see if I like it on me. It's got a very high neckline, which is not something that I'm used to. I really want to put that little frill on the top, so we'll see how it goes. But this fabric would actually be great for our upcoming, you know, cooler season because it is heavier. The fabric store has currently a 50% off black merino sale. So I got some very lightweight merino. I want to make some undertops to go under this kind of thing for the winter season. I think I'll make the cashmere Concord T. I haven't made that up yet, but it looks to be exactly what I need. A low round neck so that it will fit under necklines and not show. Long sleeves, very fitted. I wouldn't normally wear a fitted t-shirt, but fitted is exactly what I need if I'm wearing the merino as an undertop for warmth. So that's what I'm going to do there. Yeah. I probably have a gazillion other fabrics that would be great for the Marnie as well, but they're just a few that I pulled out to show you. And I do have one more pattern that I purchased recently. I think I said that the Marnie might be my last pattern, but I did also purchase the Smitten Jacket by Pattern Emporium. This is a new pattern out, and it's a jacket pattern, a cropped jacket pattern that looks very, very versatile and cute, and it looks simple to make, and everybody who I've seen talk about it have said it's you know, it's a nice simple sew. And I like all the paneling that is on that pattern. I think that will be very flattering. I'm not sure at this point if I will do the elasticated waist or if I will just leave it. Yeah, I guess I'll see, and I guess I might end up making more than one, so I could do one of each. But some fabrics that I have got in my stash that would be suitable for that, again, this is super wrinkled, it's been around for a long time, is just a nice mid-weight linen. You can see I love my blues and my indigo sort of colours. So I think this would be superb. Again, it's a lighter weight fabric, not for this season, but yeah, I do have a couple of other fabrics that are a bit heavier than this. So yeah, that is one option. Another option is this suiting weight fabric that I have. This is not, I can't remember the composition. Oh, it's not quite as bright as it's coming up on the, it's actually quite a lot deeper. It's much more of an aubergine colour than the bright purple that is showing up here. How can I try and show you? I can't really, but it's definitely not as bright as that. It's a grape aubergine type of colour. So this is not 100% natural fibre. I know that there is some polyester in here, but that is, I guess, a good thing for suiting fabric because it, you know, it gives it longevity, makes it hard wearing. So this is another option that I have for that jacket. I also could make the Smith Jacket by Style Arc. I have that pattern as well, and this might be very nice made up into the Smith Jacket rather than the Smitten, but we shall see. And we also have a cotton drill. This is a gorgeous, again, it's deeper than it's coming up on the screen here, but yeah, I am loving these sort of aubergine colours, much deeper than it appears on the screen. I think this is a good wintry weight, obviously not for the depths of winter, but this will be better as a winter jacket. Yeah, so I think that would look nice once it's been ironed. Gotta iron that, girl. Once it's been ironed, it will look nice made up into the Smitten Jacket, or again the Smith Jacket by Style Arc. I can't decide, but I've got both those patterns. Do you do that? Do you often buy patterns that are very, very similar to other patterns that you have purchased? I know there's differences in them, but you know, they're very, very similar. And the final fabric I thought might be nice for the Smitten Jacket is a lot more wintry. And I probably would I size up if I made this because it's quite a heavy weight. I've shown this to you before, just 2 or 3 weeks ago, an amazing velvet. I'm very sure it's a cotton velvet. It feels like great quality to me. I did buy it off someone's D-stash. Oh, it must be good quality because it's narrow, and isn't that a sign that it's a quality fabric. Generally silks and other sorts of quality fabrics are often only 90 centimeters wide, which I think that is what that is, or maybe it's 114, but it's narrow. So that is amazing. Look at that, it's beautiful. I think that will be really nice in the Smitten Jacket, and that's probably what I should make the Smitten Jacket out of. I've got a lot there, so I can make sure that I get the pile all going in the right direction. I don't want to make that mistake, so I do have enough fabric to make sure that I do that. I did talk about making this into some dungarees, the Leo dungarees by Hand London. Well, not the dungaree, they've got a hack. Well, it's not even a hack, it's part of the pattern where you can either make the dungaree or the just the Pinafore dress, and I think this would gather reasonably well. I know it's heavy, but I think it would gather reasonably well. But probably the Smitten Jacket is what I will do with this. There we are, that's the end of my Friday sews. I think this might actually be a reasonably length video. Unlike my others where I garble on for hours and hours, I think this might be sort of around the 15-minute mark. Could that be possible? Oh, I don't know. So I'll leave it there. And again, thank you for tuning in and watching me today, and for your subscriptions and your comments. I'm having great conversations with people in the comments, and so I really do appreciate you taking the time to watch the video in the first place and then to comment. It's you know, I love it, so thank you very much. And that is me for another week. I will see you again next week. Bye for now.